dude, and I make this joke all the time, and it's funny as fuck. Every time I go with the trolls, and they talk about how, oh, you don't know what it's like to be dead, blah blah blah. I flat look at them like, motherfucker, as a goddamn baby, I looked the Grim Reaper in the face, laughed, flipped him off, and walked the fuck out and said, fuck you.
I tried to meet God 3 times in my life by trying to end my life. I put a
Damn.
shotgun in my mouth, and for some reason, it just wouldn't fire. I tried
Well,
swallowing
no, it's
pills,
fine.
threw them all up, and then it was that day on the highway. I looked death in the eye and I embraced him, and he still threw me away. If God don't want me, and he don't want me, and I just can't die, trolls ain't
Fuck
gonna
it.
get it done either. They're just not gonna be able to do it. Tibbz TV cannot die. Trust me, I've tried. I mean that too.
Hey, dude, Sam, dude, God don't want me. Satan's fucking scared of my ass, so he don't fucking want me. So, no, the reason why he's scared of me is because he knows I'll fucking take over hell and throw him out.
Yeah, same. Probably would. I'd say, hey God, I got extra. If you want this down here, you just gotta let me up there, and then you can have both. And you know what I mean? Nope. No. Well then, fuck it. I'll stay on Earth, I guess. Right in the middle somewhere.
I have no problem with that. Just let me know what you need. I got you.
I've always believed that God's looking out for me, but he keeps telling me it's not my time yet. And then sometimes I look at this stuff and I do the things that I do online and stuff, and I realize maybe before I would make my way up there, I gotta fix what fucked up down here. I'm like his private little toy. I'm his weapon.
Exactly, dude. Like, dude, one of my friends actually asked me this one time, and it's like, it's it's like when you really think about it on that level, it really makes you think. But they asked you the one day, they're like, dude, how do you deal with what dealt with all these years? You've been through so much, and yet you're still here. How the fuck do you deal with it? Because any other person would have fucking killed themselves by now. Like, how do you fucking deal with it? And I tell them this, like, and I said it in a funny way, but it's also kind of true. I don't know how I do it. I'm just out here trying to keep my head above the fucking water.
For me,
Like,
it's hope.
I can't explain what it is that's driving me to keep going, but something is keeping it fucking going. I can't explain it, but something in my head is like, no, fuck you. You're doing this shit.
Hope,
It's like I can't explain it.
hope is my shield. Truth is my weapon. Faith is my guide. That's what I tell
Like
myself.
one of the things that like I honestly think that can be guiding me at this point is just seeing that I could do something about it and knowing that just sitting by isn't doing anybody anything. Because when you sit by and you don't do anything, you're a part of the problem.
I've said that more times than I can count.
Same, dude. Same. And it's like, I've always asked myself, like, do you want to be a part of the problem or do you want to try to put a fucking stop to this shit?
Dude, it's weird how much we have in common. It's like this
Yeah.
was meant to happen. You had the same mentality, almost the same kind of life as me in so many ways. And it's
Right.
like
You wonder if we were separated at birth or some shit.
something. And you gotta wonder at this point because that monster in my head, Varys, has always said this. There's always two. What if you're just the number two?
Who knows?
I mean, if you think about it, it seems to me like all the pieces are coming together, and it's uncanny. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I feel like we could change the world because,
No, we really could. We just gotta take it a step at a time.
yeah,
And it's like I've told Marty several times, and I've told him this too. And you can even look. Oh, dude, speaking on Marty, dude, there's something that you're gonna laugh at, and I hope and pray to God that the video's still up. There was, and I didn't hear about this until next day, and then I watched the video back. But there was a stream that he was doing like sometime last year. He was doing like a live stream on me or some shit. I don't fucking know. The guy's weirdly obsessed.
yeah,
So like he was doing a stream or whatever, and I wasn't even paying attention. I was doing my own thing and whatnot. and he had apparently ordered a pizza or whatever and whatnot, and they brought it to his house. It gets there, and he fucking gets outside, sees that it's not there, so he calls and was like, "Hey, the pizza's not here. What's going on?" And they send him a photo of that person delivering the pizza like they're supposed to, so they it's there, that it got there. He goes to look on the fucking Ring doorbell, dead ass. A fucking raccoon grabbed his fucking pizza and drug it off.
Oh my god! What the fuck?
Dude, fucking ass.
He just got robbed by a trash bandit. That doesn't happen very often. Dude, this guy got robbed. Even the raccoon hated his ass. It's like, you know what? Fuck you, fat ass. I'm taking your shit. Whoa.
Dude, the last time I confronted Marty, he was like talking his shit like he always does. Like, I don't know what. I was looking at him like, yeah, this may be going on, but I'm like, I don't let a fucking raccoon steal my pizza, you fat fuck.
I don't have that problem myself either. What happened, man? He's like, I don't know, man. I wasn't there.
Bro, all you see on the security camera footage is the raccoon just go into frame and just drags the whole fucking box out of frame. It was so good. Dude, nobody has let him live that down. Even the other trolls don't let him live that down.
See, there's always that one thing that can just destroy them in some way. I feel like I need to find this video. If we ever need to deal with him, I'm just going to rub it in. I'm going to let it really sink into the skin, sizzle a bit, turn into a burger for like no other.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it, dude. Like, that video was so fucking epic and badass. Like, it was fucking great.
That's beautiful. I hope that video exists, because that would be fun as hell to watch. He's like, dude, what the fuck is that? What the hell? Right. Just imagine we have an edit where the raccoon looks around the corner, like it comes behind the door and just this. It just keeps going. Wouldn't be that hard either. That's the fucked up part. It's not that hard to edit that shit nowadays, you know what I mean?
Like, dude. Oh my god. I saw that shit. I about fucking died, bro. I was like, bro, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck are you gonna fucking let a raccoon steal your fucking shit, you weird?
What's up?
Hang on, I'm trying to find the damn video.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that look in your face, like, what the fuck just happened?
No, I thought I found it, and I was like, nope.
It's one of those lost in thought, or the focusing kind of expressions. I get that.
Yeah, like, dude, I get that all the time. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, people think that, like, oh, he's just zoning out, but really, I'm just like, fucking, if I'm focused on something, I don't just focus. I've noticed this. I actually fucking hyper focus. Like, if I'm doing something, like, for example, like, let's say that I'm doing music or whatever. Like, when I'm doing my shit, yeah, physically I'm here, but spiritually, spirit-wise, and brain-wise, like, my mind shut up. I'm not here. Like, yeah. It's just like I can't explain it, but it's like everything else just like is drowned out. It's almost like everything else just is clicked off.
I have those moments a lot myself.
I'm not gonna lie, some of those moments are actually the best because you just drown everything out. You're just like, fuck you.
I know, right? When I have those moments, those are my best thinking moments too, when I'm completely zoned.
Oh, 100%. 100%, man. Those are always the best ones where you're just sitting back. My favorite ones are like when you're just sitting there and then like you're not doing anything and you're just sitting there quiet as fuck and you're just like, you're not doing anything, you're just there and you're just like, like you don't know what to think or anything. You're just kind of like there in the moment at that point in time. You're just like just zoned out. Like you can't explain it. You're lost.
Yeah.
In just that moment, and it's like sometimes it can suck. It really can. Sometimes it fucking sucks. But sometimes it's like you're just like it's so just chill. Like holy fuck. Like sometimes I love getting lost and shit like that because like yeah, I'll see what I can find there. Oh, come on. Oh, man, wait, is this? No. This is one. No. Damn, man, I can't find the fucking raccoon video. That sucks. Found the video of him fucking completely fucking beating my ass, though. That's a popular one. Like, no joke, dude. Like, that video has gotten more views than I can fucking count, dude. Like, no joke. Like, I can literally go on the YouTube and type in my name, and that video is, like, one of the first ones that pops up where me and Marty got into it, and he was fucking beating the fuck out of me. That literally is, like, one of the most popular videos, and it's like, the fuck?
I know, right?
Like, what? It's like, dude, that wasn't a fucking fight. That was him basically fucking assaulting me. The guy literally, no joke, weighs like 300 pounds.
Oh yeah, that's why I say that guy's fat ass got robbed by a fucking raccoon. You know what I mean? I know who that guy is. I've seen him. But I thought about it, like, what? So, like, I might as well ask, what led up to that? Like, what actually happened? Because I hear so much bullshit. I've heard several stories now, and the second story.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that so many different stories get brought up, and like one person will say that it's one way, and another person will say it's another way. But he kept on talking about how he was gonna beat my ass and this and that and the other, and he had showed up a few times before, you know, like standing out in the street outside of our house and then walking away like a bitch in the middle of fucking winter because it was wintertime when he first showed up. And then he left or whatever. And then he's always like, oh, I bet you won't show up. I bet you won't show up. And I finally see the video because I didn't know that he was here in the area. I had no fucking idea. And one of my buddies, CIA hole, who helps get info for me on these guys, he was like, yo, you do realize that he's fucking in your neighborhood, right? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, do you recognize this area? I'm like, yeah, that's the Airbnb area right behind my fucking house. And he was like, he's there right now. And at first I'm like, you know, whatever, you know, let him run his fucking mouth and shit, you know, at first. And then he just kept running his mouth and running his mouth, talking about how, oh, I won't do nothing. So finally, I fucking get up. I told him, I was like, when I get back, be sure I have the cops on, you know, speed dial just in case, because I had a weird feeling some shit was gonna fucking go down. So I was like, you know, be fucking ready.
Yeah.
So I fucking grabbed my jacket, I get my boots, I get over there, and I told him, like, dude, I thought I told you that you're not supposed to fucking be here. In other words, like, I told him, like, dude, you're not gonna come to my fucking neighborhood and fuck around and do this shit without, you know, I know how you are, dude.
Yeah.
I know how you operate. I know what the fuck you're about. I know how you are. Like, you can't fucking fool me. And then he comes running off the fucking porch. As soon as I see him coming off the porch, I knew it. As soon as he stepped down and he had his hands up, I knew shit was about to go down. So as he's coming down, he has his hands up like this. And then that's when in the video you see me fucking charge at him because I knew shit was about to go down. And it was raining out that night, so like the ground was already wet as fuck.
Yeah.
I had very little fucking grip on my fucking shoes and shit because it was rainy, it was wet, it was muddy as fuck. And my shoes were not fit for fucking that stuff. Honestly, dude, looking back now, I wish, because back in high school, I had taken auto body shots, so I had to wear like steel toe boots and shit.
Yeah.
And honestly, looking back now, I wish I had worn those steel toe boots instead, man, because that ground was so fucking bad. But he saw me going to swing at him, and I got close to his fucking face, and right when I went to knock him, all I feel, his fucking big ass fucking hammer sized fish just boom right on my head, knocks me to the ground, and this is where he fucked up. Like, where he fucked up was coming down way too hard. When he came down, his arm pulled his fucking weight down on top of me. He literally fucking fell on top of me, held me down, and kept on beating my fucking face. And in the video, I'm sitting, because like some of my friends did, you know, teach me a little bit about, you know, fighting a bigger dude like that and how you need to properly keep your face covered and shit, because they've been not only in real fights, they used to fight not like professionally, like on a major level, but they did, you know, UFC on the minor level and stuff like that and whatnot. Yeah. So they're like, dude, if anybody gets you down like that, you know, make a triangle with your hand, because it's hard for them to get around.
It's true.
Then they could still get around you, but they're not going to be doing as much as they could as if they weren't. So I'm down on the ground face down. My face is facing the rim of his fucking rental car, which, not gonna lie, I will give him this. He does own nice shorts and cross, because he actually did rent out. He actually ended up renting out one of the newer versions of a Nissan Sereno, like one of the newer Nissans, like really nice. Not gonna lie, it was actually a nice car. But I'm sitting there staring at this fucking rim, and I'm sitting there like this, covering my fucking face, seeing this dude's fist come around me, and I didn't know that he was making my fucking face bleed. I had no idea. When he was on top of me, I literally started to fucking black out, and it took everything I had in me to fucking scream, because he was so fucking heavy. Then I ended up fucking screaming for help. The only reason why he got off me was because luckily one of our neighbors that I'm good friends with saw that and told him to get the fuck off me, otherwise he was gonna beat his fucking ass. And Marty looked up and actually ended up getting up. Got up, he fucking yanked me up, shoved me and told me to get gone. I ran back home because, like, not out of, you know, fear, but like, you know, I didn't know if I was fucked up. I didn't know if I was, you know, I didn't know if my jaw was busted. I didn't fucking know the damage. When I got home, thankfully my nose wasn't broke, but it was so fucking bloody that we ended up calling the cops out. They still didn't do anything. They didn't ask me, like, hey, do you want to press charges on this guy? They didn't give me that option. They were just like, hey, like, do you need to go to the ER? And, like, we didn't know. And so we're like, hey, you know, can we get a medic out here? They checked me. Nose was fine. The only thing that was wrong with it is that it was, like, super swollen. Dude, I was bleeding so much that I literally had to take 2, like, massive fucking things of tissue that fucking big around and shove them up in there. My nose did not stop bleeding for, like, 4 fucking hours.
Jeez. So,
because, like, he had beat my face that bad that I had a massive bruise right here. I had a bruise up underneath here. Like, it was, I would like somebody just fucking, I would like, I just got into a fucking UFC fight and fucking lost to Conor McGregor, dude. Like, I looked so bad.
So he did initially swing and charge first.
Yeah.
So already by default, he's in the wrong. What was he doing on was that your house, the porch that he was on? Just to make sure I understand.
No. He was in the area just to fuck with me.
Oh, he's looking around, trying to poke around, trying to get into your head and kind of shit?
Yeah, and not only that, but on one of his other videos, on one of his older channels that's been struck down since then, and I wish to God somebody had saved this, he actually tried opening up a fucking credit card in my fucking name. And
fraud.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and he was stupid enough to post it on YouTube. Thankfully, that video got shut down. Like, that channel got shut down. But I was so pissed. I'm like, I wish I could have grabbed that fucking video before it got shut down.
That would be huge, because anytime someone uses your name for credit card purposes and they aren't you, that's illegal. That's actually a felony in most states, it turns out. But the fact that he was doing that shows what a piece of dog shit he actually is as a person.
He's not only done that. He's only done that. At one point, he fucking somehow or other got access to, because my mom's the one that pays the cable bill and stuff. He somehow or other got into her account and tried ordering a fuck ton of channels under her fucking name and tried to raise the cable bill.
Wow, that right there is a whole new level of scummy. I mean, I've seen some scummy shit, but that's fucked up.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's the kind of dude that thinks that because daddy's got money, he thinks daddy's gonna protect him forever.
His daddy's gonna protect. What kind of man? Like, my dad's Green Beret, ex-military, and I don't rely on my dad for anything. I just want my dad to be proud of me. That's like the one thing I want, right? But
what brand? Army?
Yeah.
What brand?
Army. As far as I know, Green Beret, Army. He was also a nurse in the military as well. My dad saw some shit.
My dad, the one I was telling you about that did some man shit, he was 82nd Airborne, he was Staff Sergeant, U.S. Army. Wouldn't surprise me, dude, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if our dads actually served together. That would not surprise me one bit.
It's more shit that we have in common, though. I mean, that's the thing about the trolls. They were so upset. When I originally saw the police video, when your mom or Sally, I'm just going to call her Sally, it's easier, when she mentioned what they were doing to you guys, and I immediately started saying to everybody, I'm going to reach out to this guy. I want to talk to him. I want to verify that he's actually guilty. 'Cause I'm starting to ask questions. They were so intent on not letting me, which is why I started assuming that the trolls are liars. They probably lied about everything, and right now I can tell you they did. But like,
dude, their little secret plan. A lot of people don't know this, and I do have this footage somewhere on a USB stick, and if I can find it, I will fucking send it to you.
Ooh, beautiful.
But their little secret plan was to get, like, they got me arrested on purpose. Their little secret plan was to have me locked in prison, like locked in jail. And while I was in prison, they had actually conspired to call up one of the inmates in there and have me killed for being a supposed pedophile. They essentially wanted,
they tried that same shit with me on multiple levels.
They essentially wanted to, you know, have, so like when I say that I escaped a death sentence, I didn't just escape jail. I literally escaped a fucking death sentence. Because if I had been in there, like, granted, there were a couple, like, when I went in there, thank God I actually got celled up with somebody that I actually knew that was a good ass fucking dude. Like, I've known the guy who was actually a good friend of mine for high school. He actually ended up getting busted on some drug charges or whatever, or some shit. I ended up getting celled up with him. Thank fucking God. Like, he knew who I was. I knew who he was. And he was, I think he was more or less in shock that I was there. He was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing here? And I told him what went down. And he was like, dude, that's some fucking bullshit. Even he was like, he flat out said, he was like, dude, if I wasn't locked up, they would have been fucking dealt with by now. Like, they would have been done. Like, he was so fucking pissed at what they had done. And then I was locked up there. He was like, dude, you were literally protecting your fucking family from a weirdo that showed up to your fucking house and riled up half your fucking neighborhood just to make them fucking hate you because they believe that you're this and that when clearly you're not.
That was the guy in the t-shirt mask?
Yeah, like, he would do. My friend that was in jail with me that I was celled up with was so fucking pissed off by it that, like, I've seen this dude pissed off multiple times throughout the years. But seeing that look on his face, and I knew I didn't have anything to worry about, but even, like, just seeing that look, even I was like, oh, shit.
Can I ask you a question about that day? Because I watched all their videos, I saw some real concerning inconsistencies, and now I have a theory that I'd like to debunk. This is the first debunk. The video that was up close and personal with you was, oddly enough, the audio was completely removed.
Yeah.
He says the camera was broken, but that wouldn't affect the audio. You'd hear static or something. There was nothing. Did he say anything to you when he was up close to you? Anything at all? And if he did, what did he say?
Just say, like, I was a pedophile, that I was this, that I was that. And I kept on telling him, no, the fuck I'm not, dude. No, the fuck I'm not. And, like, and what was funny is if you watch the video, he kept on trying to film me. And I fucking, because obviously I had the bat in my hand. I wasn't, like, trying to hurt him. I would rather hurt. I'm the kind of person where I would rather hurt an object and pay for that object than to hurt a fucking person. So I kept on trying to knock the fucking phone out of his fucking hand because I knew what he was trying to do. So I'm sitting there fucking toying with him and shit. Like, you want this? All right, fine. Here's the bat. Here's your phone. Go ahead. Fucking drop that shit. Say what you gotta fucking say, dude. Don't fucking film him. Just tell him. Face me like a fucking man, dude. Don't be a fucking bitch. Take your fucking mask off, dude.
See, that's the first problem with that situation is that he wore a mask. If you were really trying to protest, you would not need to hide your face like that. Problem number two is that he was trying to instigate you, and he was filming it so that he could catch it on video if it worked out in his favor. And number three, he literally walked up to your house just to start shit while hiding his face. Anytime a masked intruder comes onto a property, I don't care what the law says. Me, fuck the police. Fuck the law. We look at the moral standpoint. If a man walks up to your house in a mask on and is starting shit with you and is trying to hide who he is, there's a reason why. It's usually criminal. Yeah. And the fact you went out the bat, I watched these videos. You did not strike him with a bat the way they explained in their videos. And that's probably why you didn't go to jail the same way they claimed. But, like, I'm looking at this. Any person that sees a masked man come harassing his family, I'm sorry, I'd be different than you. I would take out a hunting knife.
Well, not only that, but dude, I had like fucking four to eight other motherfuckers that were neighbors from my neighborhood surrounding us. Like, what did he expect to happen? Nothing good was gonna come of that.
If he had backup, did he have backup that day? Is that what the other people were?
No, the other people were neighbors from my neighborhood that he riled up to come down there.
Oh, okay. See, and I saw the aftermath, too. The aftermath was even more fucked up, because then he's in the older gentleman's face, calling him names and shit. Like, I don't know why the cops didn't stop for the instigation of violence, because that would instigate violence. But I'm looking at this.
That older gentleman, that's my stepdad, Ed.
Mr. Stepdad?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, they were saying that he was your biological, that he was the pedophile. I'm like, but...
No.
Something about this didn't add up at all.
Dude, my biological father lives in fucking Alaska, which is ironically where I was fucking born. Coldest state in the U.S., and I still hate the cold. Fuck that shit.
I myself love the cold because I'm so used to be treated like crap that the cold is almost for something I embrace. But that's just me. But I'm looking at this like they lied about so much.
Right. And dude, the guy, this is where the dude really fucked up. Instead of like going to court and dealing with it like he should have, the dumbass, and this is how I got off. He literally made a post on his community wall talking about not showing up. I screen grabbed that shit, gave that shit to my lawyer's wife, who is actually his assistant. They run their own business independently. Like, they're both lawyers, but they work as an independent, unit. And she had my attorney's wife, Juliet, showed up at court, and she was like, hey, Jonathan's going to be on his way. He'll be here in like 20 minutes. I was like, all right, cool. By the way, I got something to show him. And she's like, what's that? And I pull out my phone, and I show her the screenshot. And she was like, can you text me that? I was like, yeah. So she ends up giving me her number. I end up texting it to her and shit. She takes it into the fucking courtroom while me and Mom and Ed are all sitting out there in the lobby waiting. Not even 5 fucking minutes. She comes back out with a piece of paper that was basically saying, like, oh, we showed up, he didn't. Turns out the prosecutor and the judge both dropped the charges and the case right then and there. Like, no joke. Within 5 minutes.
Do you know why? Do you know why he didn't show up?
because he was on. He said it was because of personal reasons and gas and work. But I know why. It's because he didn't want to show his face. I know why.
Thank you, because that was going to be my next question. He wore that T-shirt mask, right?
Yeah,
Did he ever?
didn't want.
Did he ever take it off?
Nah.
Exactly. To show his face. Like I've said, the one thing trolls fear the most, more than anything else, more than their narrative being taken apart, more than anything, is you seeing this.
Yep.
That's why I show my face. I am proud of who I am. But they hide it because if they get caught in a crime, that right there is a problem. That's why I showed WTRD's face. That's why I showed Mark's. That's why I showed this other guy. They can't escape that.
I always tell these trolls every time they talk about how I'm a coward, I'm like, dude, how am I a fucking coward? I'm not the one sitting here hiding behind a screen. At least you can see my fucking face.
Exactly, right? It's kind of fucked up. But you really look at what it is. If they get caught, you can change your name, you can change your channel, you can change, like, N-Word Boy can change his name. Glory Hole can change his name, but you can't change this.
The face. Yeah, you can't hide that.
I think we should put all their faces out there, too, after a point, or drive them to showing their faces. That would be dangerous for all of them.
Dude, a lot of people have been trying to do that, dude. I now know that Kate, I know that she works for some sort of, like, she's like a rental home manager or some shit. Like, she does something with, like, property management or some shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, interesting.
I'm really good at that, you know. I was mentioning that Marks earlier, right? When I was getting the text messages, and I actually managed to troll him into showing his face. He was trying to brag about how he had this $500 monitor or some shit. It was like one of them really long ones, though, and I was like, dude, that thing, that ain't yours. You screenshot that off eBay or some shit, right? He's like, no, this is real, man, because I can afford a gaming setup, and you can't. I'm like, this is such retarded bullshit, but I have an idea here. I'm like, that's yours? Prove it. He's like, I don't need to prove it. It's mine. I'm like, you trolling. You lying. Stop lying. And he started doing that shit, right? So he's finally like, fuck it. So he takes a picture of Tibbz is an F-A-G-G-O-T or something similar. It's a similar insult, I'm sure. Yeah. Next to the laptop with a hand. I'm like, oh my God, you're fucking fat. Every fat joke you could think of. When God said, let there be light, he had to ask you to step out of the way. Oh my God. Do you have Orbit? Marks the Noob has Orbit. Throw an apple, it floats around him or some shit. Every fat... Marks the Noob is a beached whale. Everything I could think of, right? To the point where he finally got so pissed off, he said, that's not fat, that's muscle. I'm like, prove it. He's like, this dumb motherfucker did something you should never do as a troll. Shows me the whole arm. Okay, this is good. We're getting somewhere now. I now have undeniable proof that not only is he a white male, approximately 250 to 350 pounds, somewhere in there, he also has a classic old school Punisher tattoo across the entirety of his right forearm. You know, that's going to be hard to get rid of, but that's personally identifiable information that we can find him now. We also know that he is in the same time zone as me and you.
Yeah.
In fact...
I mean, get this. You're going to laugh at this. A lot of the people say, like, oh... And no, they are so mad about this. But one of my friends that is, like, he helps get information for me as well, as a gift for, like, you know, actually beating my case. $1,000 PC right here.
Damn, it's fucking awesome. You know, that's the one thing that we can really appreciate. It's the little things in life they can't do shit about. Good people, things that make us happy.
And not only that, but dude, these trolls ain't rocking something like this. And this is hand fucking made. Somebody actually went out of their way and fucking made this shit.
That's fucking badass.
Like, dude, this is all hand fucking made. And dude, every time I shows up, people are so fucking pissed. Like, bitch, you ain't fucking rocking a gold statue chain like this, motherfucker. Man, like the only time I wear it is for like major like shit, like it's something big. But most of the time, it just sits on top of my computer as a fucking statue.
That's pretty badass.
Like, Dude, I've gotten so much cool shit from fucking fans. If people don't think I appreciate the fans, bro, that's all fan shit right there. Aside from the Cyberpunk still, because I did pre-order Cyberpunk 2077 when it first came out.
That
So I
game,
knew game was
that game is so good right now on next gen consoles. Like it is so
it
good.
is. But like, dude, all the shit you're seeing on the sides, like, aside from like the Himiko figure and the limited edition of Zelda Cup, everything else that I've got is basically fan gifted or made.
Damn. See, that's the thing.
And
You got fans. They probably hate that.
Oh, they hate it, all right, dude. They fucking hate it. So get this. I don't know if you heard about it, but one of them actually ended up breaking the original Xbox that I had, because I had a 2 terabyte hard drive Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
And well, they ended up sending me a USB stick that said that, and I know you can do this, how you're able to like mod the Xboxes or your game systems to be able to like play older games and different shit like that. And they ended up sending me a USB stick, and they're like, hey, we're gonna send this out to you. That way you can do a lot of the older games, because we want to see what you can do and stuff like that. All right, cool. I'm down for that, because I was born in '90, so I grew up around every kind of fucking old game system you could fucking think of, dude.
Yeah.
So like, I'm down, man. No problem. I'm up for that shit. Fucking send it over. So they ended up doing that, and got here, and they're like, hey, like, did you get it? I was like, yeah. And they're like, all right, this is what you need to do. You need to, plug it into the back of your Xbox, let it do its thing, blah, 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 and then it should kick back up. And I was like, all right. So I ended up putting it in there with them on the phone. And so, like, I had them on video call. I go to fucking put it in, and I go to turn the Xbox back on after about 5 minutes of watching it do this little boot thing like it's supposed to. Thing wouldn't fucking turn back on. Turned out there was a fucking kill switch. They fucking fried the entire fucking inside of the Xbox.
Damn.
The only thing they did not manage to fry was the fucking 2 terabyte hard drive, which I'm still working on, because I have the hard drive reader that you plug into your computer or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm still to this day. That happened like last year. I'm still fucking working on recovering the data for that hard drive, just so I can fucking use it as an external hard drive.
Do you want something cool that none of the trolls know about?
What's that?
I'll be right back. Give me 1 second.
Oh shit. Yo, fucking story. What did you find? Marty's ugly mug? We already know what that looks like.
This is my hard drive. This is so I've lost 2 channels because of trolls and bullies and evil people. This is both my old channels completely backed up, and they don't know that they all still exist.
You fucking smart ass.
Yep. And here's the best part. On my last channel, do you know what it was called? Varus Reality. How many felonies do you think I caught that trans predator in on that channel alone through thousands upon thousands of hours of GT Online?
Oh, Jesus.
$150 to fix the actual reader, but beyond that, completely stable. It's only a matter of time.
Damn, dude.
They call me the god of death in the troll communities, and most of them are very obsessed with Varus. Varus has been planning this attack for God knows how long.
They were for a long time obsessed with a good friend of mine named James. Like, he went by the name Body for like the longest time. And that's who Marty was obsessed with after he got obsessed with me. And it's like, it was weird. Like, dude, I've noticed that when they get obsessed with somebody, They don't hold back.
Mm-hmm. They almost are willing to throw every single sense of morality and principle out the window just to feed that obsession.
Yeah, and it's honestly disgusting, dude. It
It's
really is
disturbing.
fucking.
Like
It is.
like even Croag, he was willing to threaten children with rape. That's a whole new level of just trying to get at somebody under their skin. And he threatened them directly. That video tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., which is in what, like 5 hours maybe from now. That video is going to destroy everyone in Rank Material because they're all involved in that.
Yeah. And you know, it's funny. One thing that I know you'll probably, whenever you look at that article that I sent you, dude, like, there's a lot of shit with Kate losing her fucking kids over this fucking shit. Because guess who has a little drug addiction?
Kate.
Yep.
I noticed that. They always do these kinds of things, but then you look behind the scenes, they're all scum. But they targeted my family and my friends. But I think the one that really pissed me off, that set this all in motion to a point where there was no return, was my cat. I loved Max more than anything in this world. Like, all people could perish right now. As long as he's okay, I would be okay. He meant that much to me. And when I lost him, I lost my home because of these people. And in turn, no motel takes cats out here, unfortunately. And it's the only options I had. So I had to put him up for adoption. I had no choice. It was either that or live in the streets with him, and then he'd suffer more. And so I gave him up. And I cried. I still cry about it. I'm a man. I have emotions, though. And I cried, and I still cry about the fact that I cannot hold the one thing that was alive in my life that I loved more than anything else. And then I swore to myself that if it was the last thing I do, every troll, including Spookies, all the Cyraxx trolls, Rank Material, Cinemas, Chad Gaming, Tony at Work, Burger Boy, if they are a troll or in those chats or agree with the trolls, they are going to burn. I've been doing it ever since. There will be no mercy.
I do not fucking blame you one single bit, dude. What these people have done to you and to other people, it needs to fucking stop. Oh, and I can tell you who's supplying Kate her fucking gear for her fucking studio setup. You ever hear the, what's his name? Fucking, Michael J. Hacking? You ever hear that name?
One more time?
Michael J. Hacking? A.K.A. Stock and Hockey?
That name rings a bell, but I don't remember where I saw it from or what it looked like.
Michael J. Hacking is, like, he used to run, like, a lot of businesses and do car sales. So, like, he's got money. Like, he's set up for the rest of his life. Like, me and him first got linked up because he saw what was going on. And he provided me, you know, with a little bit of work here and there because I would make, like, these sound packs for me. And he paid me anywhere from, like, $50 to $100 for a pack. And I did, like, a bunch of them. Like, it depended on what he needed. Like, I would do, like, everything custom done, like, different sound effects or shit. And I would usually do, like, 100 of them, like, for him, no problem. And he would pay me, and so that went on for a while. I did custom images for him for shit that he needed or whatever. Had no problem with it. But then later on, I found out his little secret that he's actually a Kate supporter.
So he's a troll.
And, yeah.
Wow.
I found out that he was he wasn't necessarily a troll. He was somebody that works with her, like, you know, and provides her with the studio setup. And then once he started seeing what I was dealing with from her shit.
Dude, he's a simp.
Yeah.
I had the deal with a transgender pedophile and her army of simps. I remember the reason why she was trying to push me to suicide in 2021 because that was who was trying to do it, right? And she was good at. Back then, I had no idea how to handle that shit, right? She asked me to be her top simp, and I'm like, no, simps are fucking pathetic. Why would I want to waste my time with a woman that doesn't actually want me? That's the stupidest concept ever. She got so pissed about it, but I've seen simps ever since. Flips Gaming. He was. He was a Fortnite YouTuber who preyed on children with her. And both her and him deleted the channels to hide.
Did that shit?
Yeah, he terminated all the shit.
Dude, I actually do play Fortnite competitively a little bit, and I heard a few people talking about that. Like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm. So basically what was going on was he became a pedophile because he simped that hard. I'm like, I have no respect for simps. If you want a woman to love you, don't give them shit. See if they actually want to be with you. When you know they do, then treat them like that and make them your queen or whatever the fuck you're gonna do. Because that guy sounds like a simp that you were dealing with. Because I mean, the fuck.
Like, don't get me wrong. I feel bad for the fact because he does have like a massive like not mental but like a medical issue going on with like tumors and shit. So like, and that does suck.
Yeah.
Like, I feel so bad for him for that because, like I said, I lost my older brother to lung cancer back in 2015. So I understand that situation a lot better than most. Like, I get what it's like to have to deal with the doctor visits and the stress and doing this and that. I get it. It fucking sucks. Like, dude, I was in and out of school all the fucking time because of hospital visits, having to help my mom take care of him, do this, do that. So I was in and out of school a lot.
Yeah.
Like, a lot. But when I confronted him about the whole Kate shit, I told him, so I was like, you would rather back up Kate, who could potentially be an actual pedophile than fucking selves by doing that shit that she's doing, instead of like actually being like, yo, like, this isn't cool. So instead of like you standing and backing me up after what she fucking put me and my family and my friends through, you're gonna sit there and tell me that you're backing this bitch up. You're gonna stab me in the fucking back like that after I showed you friendship, after I showed you respect and loyalty for what you fucking did for work. Because the fact that I respect you not only from a person standpoint, but as a fucking business person, as somebody that's ran their own clothing line, so I know what business is. Like, I respect you in that regard. So you're gonna take all that and throw it out the window because you want to fucking back this psychotic, drug addicted bitch up? What the fuck?
I think you were more polite about than I would have been. I'm like, you are here throwing away our friendship and our, the long term, what we've, done together as friends for pussy you might not even get.
Oh, dude, he's already his fucking wife. He is married. Like, his wife was like a super cool. Like, she was super sweet at first, but then when she told me to like shut up, this you're gonna love this. She was like in the background. I can hear her going, "Fuck you, fuck you." I turned around and looked at her. I'm like, "No thanks. I don't fuck dudes. I'm not gay."
She's that ugly. She's that ugly.
Bro, she looked like a dyke with long hair.
She was pretty much she was very mannish, I'm just saying.
Bro, she looked like a skinny fucking dyke with a long ass hair.
Oh my god. Oh.
She said, fuck you. I'm like, no thanks, I don't fuck dudes. I'm not gay, sorry.
I am not gay myself, and I always tell them, like, I'm not interested in all this gay shit that keeps thrown towards me. Like, I'm not against gay people. I'm not. There's a lot of gay people. There's a lot of gay people on my channel who are against what they're doing. There's a lot of trans people actually showed up. I had the biggest issue with that. Where are all the trans people are against this? After a while, in comes all the trans people saying, these guys, this April bitch who says she's trans, they're horrible people. They're scummy. She's definitely a predator. And what
dude, my older brother was gay. Half my best friends are all like, they're either bi, gay, straight, trans, or some, part on that spectrum. So I respect that community to the fucking fullest. Hell, my fucking best friend Jake, the one that now is no longer talking to me because of these fucking assholes. Dude, there was one point, and bear in mind, I've known this motherfucker since the 9th fucking grade. Okay? Like, I know this motherfucker like the back of my fucking hand. He's like my little brother. Even though we're still not talking, I still see him as family. He's always gonna be, you know, my best friend. Still. But, like, there was one point in time where he came out to me as being bi, and I'm like, okay. I'm not going to see you any different. You're still going to be my best friend. Like, okay, cool. Good, you're bi. Don't care.
That's the way I look at it. If they're decent people, I have no issue. My only issue with those groups of people is the predators in the group. But the predators is not all of them. And people always look at me, they try to make me like I'm transphobic or something. I'm like, no. See, if this transgender person goes into a woman's bathroom and whips out his dick and harasses her, that's a predatory person, and he's a piece of dog shit as a result. But you're not going to sit here and be ashamed once you've done nothing wrong, because that ain't right. And I'm the same way with LGBT. If someone's lesbian, gay, bisexual, that's where I stand. If they are a predator, oh, it's war, motherfucker, as they say. But if they're decent people, I welcome them with open arms. I just don't want a dick near my ass. That's not being homophobic. I just don't want to have a dick in my ass. That, like, what the fuck is up with the trolls and that mentality? I'm cool.
Right.
You know?
Like, so, like, the way all this shit, like, fully got started right from the jump was, did you ever hear about my ex, Kendall Smith, the one that was, like, running around, the one that basically pretended to kill herself and shit?
No. I haven't.
So Kendall Smith was the shit that I ironically met through my now ex Heather. Like, you know, we met through her, and no, it wasn't through her. It was through somebody else. I had met Heather through Kendall, but I had met Kendall through a mutual friend of ours and whatnot. And we started talking for several months. We ended up dating and shit afterwards and whatnot. Well, she had asked me the one night to, you know, remind her to take her meds in the morning. All right, cool, I can do that. Morning comes around, I remind her to do that. We get into a, for somehow or other, we ended up getting into a fight. I don't even fucking know how. And just seeing how she was treating me, I was like, dude, fuck this. I don't need this right now. So I ended up, you know, walking away. And we were on and off for like a while. Like, and I started noticing how she was treating me, and I'm like, no, like, you're too fucking crazy. I don't fucking need this shit. So I ended up leaving and blocking her. No sooner than I fucking blocked her, I get a message from one of our mutual friends, like, hey, did you know she's posting these videos about you on Facebook? And I was like, what?
She's one of them people. She's one of them people.
Dude, trust me, you'll understand how bad it is here in a bit. Well, because I knew she had a YouTube channel, I knew I wasn't able to respond to her on Facebook, so I was like, I made a video to her basically saying, hey, knock the fucking shit off. You know you're fucking lying about all this shit. Because she was sitting there saying, like, oh, I'm a pedophile, I'm this, I'm that, and blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And that went on for like 2 years before she finally shut the fuck up. Well, within that 2 years, I come to find out that she's got several warrants for her arrest in several different states.
He's like, hey, just y'all know, your state, she's right here.
Let's play this way, dude. She tried to run over a fucking cop with an RV and fled state just to get away.
Look, I know cops suck, but, like, that ain't cool, man. What the fuck?
Right.
Like, let him fuck up, then run his ass over. You know what I mean? Like, what a dumb bitch. Whoa.
No, get this. Like, so the way that Marty came across me was Kendall had pretended to kill herself and got our friend Paul, who I'm still good friends with to this day. They were dating at the time. Well, he got her to, you know, say like, oh, Kendall killed herself because of me and blah, 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 blah. Well, before that, about a month prior to that, and I didn't notice until Paul actually came out like earlier this year and spoke to me about it after all these years. And the reason why he didn't tell me is because he didn't want Candle to try to start shit. So I understood why he didn't say anything. I get it.
Yeah.
You know, he wanted to keep peace. I get it. Well, I found out that there was one point where he came over here to supposedly kick my ass, which we ended up just fucking talking for like 2 or 3 hours fucking straight. We just sat there and just hung out for like 2.5 hours. Dude, I found out later on down the road, she left him stranded there at the house because he refused to fucking kill me. She sent him there to kill me and he didn't do it. So she ended up fucking leaving him there stranded. He had to fucking walk, I think he said like 14 miles to, I guess there was like a spot down there that he knew in the Akron area. And he knew like what was up. So he went down there, had to hitch a ride back to where he was, yada, yada, yada. Well, I didn't find out until later on down the road that the reason why he did what he did, like as far as like the whole him supposedly, you know, supposed to kill me and, you know, Candle faking her death, was because Candle is like that. I found out later on down the road that she's the kind of chick that she'll get with the dude, and then when she breaks up with him, she'll start claiming shit about them that isn't fucking true. Now, here's the ironic part. I found this out just a couple months ago. She ended up getting arrested just a couple months ago for domestic violence and was threatening people to get her out of prison. Otherwise, she was gonna hurt their families or whatever. Yeah, as far as I know, she's still sitting in jail to this fucking day for domestic violence.
Domestic violence. Wow.
Yep. And the way that Marty came across me was when she had made that video calling me a pedophile. Because what happened was Marty ended up trying to make a pass at me when me and my now ex Heather were together. And I didn't catch it. She caught it. So I ended up going back and watching it on live stream. Bear in mind, we were on live stream at the time with the YouTuber, the real Miss Jamie Nicole. Like, she was really, really big. Like, she was chill as fuck. Me and Heather knew her personally. Super cool chick to hang out with. Well, I ended up watching it back and whatnot. And I hopped back on stream and I turned him down politely and shit. Because at that point, I didn't have like a real issue with him at all. I didn't really have a problem with him. So I turned him down. I was like, yo, like, like I don't swing that way, whatever. Well, I found out later on that his little plan was to hire Kate to make me look like a pedophile, all so that he can drive all my friends and everybody away from me, just so I would have nobody to turn to but him. That's how obsessed he is with me. He will go to those lengths to do that fucking shit. And that was like my real first introduction into that, world. And he kept doing little things like he would like dox my address, which at that point I didn't fucking care because my address is already out there anyway. So I'm like, okay, you know where I live, big fucking whoop. Like, I don't give a fuck, dude. Like,
that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at now, by the way. I finally learned that if you don't give a shit, the dox loses its value. And they're like,
it really does. It really fucking does. And like, it was one of those things where I was like, okay, it's not like you're gonna do anything anyways, so yeah, don't really give a fuck. But he would ramp up the ante every so often. Like, he would actually pretend to be these females, and he would do it so well that you would actually think that they were like legitimate. Like, he did it that well. That's how well he played it up.
ew.
Well, he tricked me in. He tricked me into, and I found out later on that it was actually him doing all this shit. He had tricked me into all kinds of videos, all kinds of photos, proceeded to post them on adult websites, which thankfully some of them I got removed. I don't know how many are still out there. But, dude, that shit is floating around out there now because of him.
Did you know that a revenge porn, which is what that would be considered, is actually also highly illegal?
Oh, I know it is. But the problem is, I know what state he's in. I just don't know his fucking address. So I can.
We
There's
can
no way
find
I'd be able.
out. We can find out hands down. But imagine, just for a moment, and this is disturbing. I don't know if it's gonna bother you, but imagine the
Nah.
reason he posted is so that he could probably spank to it.
Actually, yes. That's
He's probably one of them sick fucks. Sorry, I'm not trying.
the reason why I know this is because every time I bring it up and I tell him, he goes fucking quiet.
That's how you know, too. Wow. Oh my God, these people have something wrong with them.
Dude, if you watch the live streams of me bitching him out, every time I start to speak facts to him, he does one of two things. He either tries to mute me or he goes fucking dead fucking silent.
Hmm.
Because he fucking knows.
Yeah, they don't like it when we have points or when people agree. Well, like when I go on the panels, you know about the panels, I'm sure. When I go on those things, they don't like it when I start talking. I have a point. Like when I'm starting to win the conversation, which happens a lot more than they like to admit. First thing they'll do is mute or try to scream over me.
Yeah, they either scream over you, they try to mute you, or do something to be like, oh, blah, 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 yada, 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 yada. And dude, I even did that with now Kate. She just likes to fucking argue. Because there was a point in time where I was on her panel and I confronted her about all this shit. I told her, I was like, bitch, do you have any idea how close to ruining my fucking life you fucking came? And she's like, blah, blah, blah. Me and her got into it. I told her, I was like, yeah, well, guess what, bitch? Unlike you, I didn't lose 2 of my fucking kids to CPS because you want to sit here and do fucking dumb shit. And second off, last time I checked, your fucking daughter, who's 15 years old, ran away because of you fucking doing this shit because she didn't want to fucking be around your shit.
I think that's the really frightening part about it. I'm noticing this more and more. These people go around screaming pedo every chance they get. And obviously there's a reason why. When you scream pedo, a lot of gullible people do exist. And on top of that, it is the most concerning accusation a person can make. But then you start seeing all the kids out there. A lot of teenagers. I've seen this in bulk. It's fucking insane how many teenagers are trying to expose these people all the time. Because a lot of teenagers have more common sense than the adults in these groups. I always ask myself, where are the adults? Where are the cops? Oh no, there's the teenagers doing all the work.
Right.
It's fucked up.
And it's sad that this new generation of kids has more common sense than half the fucking adults out there. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a few of us out there that do still have common sense, thankfully. But half these other motherfuckers, I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
That gives me so much hope for the future, though.
did your parents drop you on your head as a kid too many times, or what?
That gives me so much hope, though, that kids are actually against this shit. When you have a bunch of pedos on the internet and kids are actually against that. Like, that's why they called me a groomer, because I had the opinion and a bunch of kids, well, mainly one actually, but even still, a teenager agreed. The fact that teenagers are smart enough in this generation to know that that's wrong, that gives me hope for the future, because then, you gotta imagine, after a while, these pedos aren't going to have a safe place anymore because all the kids that want to expose them, they can't victimize someone that wants to expose you. You know what I mean? It's kind of a thing. It's good to know. I mean, I'm really happy to hear that because all pedos must die.
Dude, there's one thing that I like that JD DeLay said the one day, and I fucking love this. That not all, and I love this saying too, though. Not all people are chomos, but all chomos go to church.
I remember the whole thing about the Vatican.
Like, think about that for a minute, dude. Like, that saying rings so true. A lot of these pedophiles, they use church and Christianity and religion to hide behind their shit.
I've noticed that, and that's why the Vatican thing was so big, because, like, these are the biggest people on the planet. The Vatican is the biggest church on the planet. And all the pastors, all the priests were doing that. And then you start looking everywhere. It happens at a lot more churches than they like to admit. I'm in Michigan, and I cannot tell you how many ads on Facebook talk about ministries in Michigan. that have done this, and they're now giving out like compensation because of it. That money ain't gonna fix something. The lifelong effects are everlasting. But the fact that so many churches have that going on, it's a very true statement.
It is. It really is. And it's like, you know, the thing that gets me is like, everybody's always like, oh, you know, the internet and real life are two separate things, blah, blah. Yeah, that may be true to an extent. But if you really think about it on a deeper, like an actual logical thinking level, like when you actually think about it on that level, they're not very far apart at all whatsoever. There's still real people behind these accounts. What you do does have real world effects.
Mm-hmm.
So it's essentially, they're basically the same fucking thing, dude. They're both one and the fucking same.
I don't think they realize how evil what they're doing truly is, which is why I feel like it's the responsibility of the people to educate them.
Yeah. It really is. Like, what gets me is how these motherfuckers can sit there and do this shit and be okay. Like, how do you even sleep at night knowing that you're fucking someone's life up? Like, if I did that shit, I wouldn't be able to live with myself.
I'd hang myself.
The same.
And I wouldn't stop trying till I was dead if it was like that, because that shit weighs on you. People talk about the victims, and that is an important thing. There's nothing more important at that point. But you also remember what that does to the person's mind. You lose yourself when you become an evil person. And to be a predator, you'd have to be so far gone, there's no return. But, like, how do you sleep at night? If you can sleep at night after doing that to somebody, you're not human no more. That's just... There's just no way. You know? I think about what that person did to me. And I have to endure knowing that that happened. And every time I ask myself, how did that person manage to go to bed at night? How did they fall asleep comfortably? How did they have no guilt or shame whatsoever knowing what they did to me? When I heard that she was tied up, shot in the face, and left in a fucking lake and fed to fucking alligators in Florida, imagine how I felt.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, they shot her in the face, by the way. No police barks in Florida. Some places, they don't care.
Dude, I lived in Florida, man. I lived out in Polk County, dude. I went to Roosevelt Academy down there in Polk County in Florida. And that was like for a good portion of my childhood. So I'm very well versed on how Florida works.
I don't know what part of Florida it was, but here's the fun part. I'm not going to tell anybody, because I did get a picture of the dead corpse from the guy who shot her in the fucking face. And that was on a phone I haven't had for like 2 years at least, right? But to know that that bitch is dead. I figure the cops don't need to know. She'll be fertilizer after a point. Because that's the only way I can really look at it. That was the first time in my life I had real closure from an abuser. Real closure.
Right. And that's like, and that's like with Kate. I have flat out openly admitted on several live streams, like, yes, what I did was fucked up. I shouldn't have fallen for that troll. But who's the real fucking bad guy here? Is it the victim, or is it the fucking person doing this shit that don't need to be doing this shit in the first fucking place?
I always bring that up and they get so pissed, but like common sense, if someone is abusing somebody, they're in the wrong. There's no exception.
Right.
I don't know how they have a problem with that.
And that's what gets me, like, and see, and this is what gets me. I openly admit my mistakes and I own up to this shit, but yet they can't own up to what they fucking did.
Oh yeah, that's a trippy thing, because like they are I think that's where grandiose delusion comes to mind. For a lot of them, they think they're better or more entitled than anyone else, and then you look at it, they can fuck up. Like WTRD Radio right now, he's trying to expose me and mods as predators and groomers when we're not. It's like, again, the guy was 22 years old. That makes him a femboy. A lot of the pictures and videos I've seen, it's not what they say at all. Obviously, when you watch it and see it for what it is, but like, he cannot admit that he was wrong, and then he becomes this, I don't even know, like a completely psychotic maniac after a point with it.
Yeah.
I think that's what bothers me about it is like it wouldn't be so bad if you could at least admit that he was wrong about it from time to time. Like at least then you show that there's common sense.
Right, and like with the whole Tony thing, like what gets me is they're real slow to go after him because he's in a fucking wheelchair. But yet they're really quick to go after me, and I'm over here like, dude, this guy openly went out in fucking public and did pedo shit. I fell for a fucking troll by text message. There's a major fucking difference there, dumb fucks.
Well, especially considering she told she was 18.
Right.
Who knew she was going to text you after you were already not paying attention, then try to gaslight you like that? Like, that doesn't make no sense.
Right.
It's nowhere near the same thing. But then they try to play it like it is because they want you to be a predator. They want you people look at you like that. Is that they make you... But then that's the thing. You said you live where exactly as far as state?
Akron, Ohio.
Yeah. I'm going to look it up. And see, if you look up at the registry and there's nothing there at all, like search will come up empty for your name. What would your name be on legal paperwork? Chance...
Wilkins.
Wilkins, okay. So if I look up and there's nothing, like search for nothing, then that right there destroys their narrative.
Yeah, and dude, I have shown this multiple fucking times that I'm not this, that I'm, dude, I told him, like, dude, look at my fucking record. I went to jail back in 2012 for the show with my mom, and then the shit with the bat, the charges got dropped, so those ain't even gonna be on the fucking record.
I have a spotless criminal record myself. I have nothing on my criminal record at all. But, like, that's not me bragging. That's just how many times they failed at trying. But then I look at this, right? If they want you to be it so bad, you have to remember, if you are a predator, that is going to go on a registry.
Oh, yeah.
There should be a confession. Like, there's this guy on one line called White Bowser. You may have heard of him.
Yeah,
he straight up admitted it. There's another guy called Norbite that Chad gave me and some of these trolls protect. I don't even know why. He should admit he did it to a 12-year-old. That one's concerning. Then there was another guy, Jared Genesis, I think might be one of them. I don't know, but I think I've seen...
Dude, I've talked to Jared Genesis a few times, and from what I've seen, he's an okay dude, but I still don't know.
Yeah, I've heard about confessions. I think I've seen one on him. I don't know. Like, White Bowser, definitively, yes. The Norbite guy, definitively, yes. They're both scum. They deserve to die as a result. Jared Genesis, I've heard things. I think I've seen one. I don't remember. I have to go back and look through all my shit.
One thing that I know these trolls love to do is they love to clip videos and stitch shit together.
That's why that one I don't remember if that's what I was seeing, if it was actually stitched together or not. Because that's why I say I need the full context of the video. If you have the originals, it's even better.
Because I will admit, dude, some of the shit these trolls do and some of the way they stitch them together is surprisingly, like, I'm not saying they're good people, but dude, their handiwork is actually surprisingly good.
There was one video by Cinemas and a bunch of trolls where they got a voice actor to sound like this, like Spookies. You know Spookies, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking to him earlier, if anything. Now, Spookies, I am heavily on the fence with. I feel like he could be a good person, but he's too busy trying to expose you. If he can understand that you're not a bad guy, then hey, he could be a great asset. Because he also, because at one point they got a voice actor to clone his voice, and I should have asked him, "Is this true?" And he's like, they got a voice actor, huh?
Dude, they literally have a fucking AI voice on me to make me say
something. They have something. Because I asked Spookies if this was legitimately him. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You keep telling people I'm not one. Why are you saying I am one here? He's like, that isn't me, man. That's either AI or a voice actor. And here's the thing. I found out it was a voice actor. There's a troll out there who can make his voice exactly like his because that guy called me and then faked it for 25 minutes until he finally cracked. When he realized I wasn't believing that it was him, he's like, God damn it. He got into his real voice. I'm like, see, Spook is right. There is a voice actor out there. He's like, shh. He realized he fucked up. But that was the day that It's Cinemas video got debunked. And then, oddly enough, it disappeared. They don't like it when you debunk the lie.
Oh, dude, the one thing I noticed, they will try to fight you tooth and nail on that shit.
The narrative is life or death for them. It's their very way
Yep,
of life.
yep. And that's the sad part. It's like you got all these, like you got so many good people out here being victimized by these evil ass fucking people for no reason except for clicks, views, and a little bit of attention for something that they're not even good at doing in the first place anyway.
You know what else I find hilarious about that?
Huh?
The only people that agree with them, like they are convinced everyone agrees with them. But when you look at this conversation and the videos they have in the comment sections, the only people that agree with them are other trolls.
Yeah.
That's it. Then they get angry, or they'll hide people from the channel. All kinds of really shady shit of anyone who does not go along with this narrative. If you are not playing ball and going along with the flow, you're out. It's so fucking stupid, actually, after a point.
It's honestly funny at some points. It's like, bro, like, what the fuck? Like, and like I said, over time, I've noticed these little patterns in their shit. Like, anybody that stands up for me is made a target and forced to take their shit down. Anybody that tries to stand up for me, like, there was a group on Facebook that was dedicated to helping me out. Trolls went in there, swarmed it, and now the trolls have fucking taken over the shit.
It's like they're a plague of some kind.
Yeah.
That's why I have like 25, 40 channels, most of which they don't know about. Mainly
Dude,
just for backup purposes. Just for backup. Every video I have is backed up right now. Every single one.
Yeah, for every email I make at least 2 or 3 different channels. That way, if one gets shut down, I got like a fuck ton other more I can go to without even thinking about it.
Do you want me to tell you another one of those weird things that they don't know about but is really bizarre?
What's that?
This one is gonna, like, I don't know how to explain this. No one I know, no one has seen it, knows how to explain it. And it's frightening. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know how it's humanly possible. So I have my main email where my Tibbz TV channel's at, of like 800 and whatever subs it is now. I have another email where there was well, there was no channels on it. There was none. It was just gonna be used for like PlayStation or something. It never got used for that, but it was gonna be used for that at some point. So there was no YouTube account on it. Well, one day I noticed that of my Gmail, where I have like 7, maybe 10 accounts that are all my active ones, pretty much, right? I noticed that this channel on my main email somehow is also on this other email. And I never put it there. Now that's not the weirdest part. It's already weird. Now, the second weird thing is that every video, every post, every single change in real time and detail is also on this one. And I don't know how. And it gets weirder somehow even still. Every comment made on that, including by trolls, is also on this one in real time, and no one knows about it. Now here's the weirdest part. When you click on this email and go to that channel, it goes to a link. Obviously the channel link, the main link, not the at whatever name the channel is. It's the actual base numbers and weird symbols link.
Yeah.
If you do this one, it goes to, get this, the same link. How are 2 emails going to the same place at the same time in real time and cloning each other like that? I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened with that. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen, and no one knows about it because I haven't told anybody because I don't know how to register that. Mentally, it's not technological.
Yeah, that's right. How do you process that? Yeah.
Like, that's not technologically possible. How does this email have the channel, but this email goes to the same channel? I don't know how to approach that. And then when you if it's 2 of this exact same thing being cloned in real time, even comments by trolls are on both. The link is the same, which is weird. But if I changed the name not too long ago, I don't remember what I changed it to. I think if I go to my thing here,
But dude, that's fucking weird though.
It's
like,
almost creepy. Like, what is happening there? Why is it? The channel name is This is another channel they don't like very much. Tibbz TV Lethal Protector. It's also known as the Varys channel. And that name change happened on both. Like, in real time. I don't know what to do with that. I also just realized I have 820 subs.
Dude, I wouldn't know how to process that. I would be like, what the fuck?
I have always found these things very bizarre, but then I keep asking myself, if Varys is real, like let's say he is real, right? And I believe he is. My therapist is even beginning to believe it, which is she's a professional. She's a doctor, and it's her job to make sure that I don't feed into a delusion. And even she says, this thing, whatever it is, he's real. And in fact, it scares most health professionals now.
Dude, if any fucking therapist saw the shit that I've put out, music-wise or otherwise, I'd be in a fucking psych ward probably for the rest of my life, not gonna lie.
You're gonna love this next one then. There was an incident. It was never on YouTube or anything, but looking back on it, what it was, I wish it was. It would have changed the game forever. I was in my room streaming GTA or something that night. I lived in the house with a family. They were good people, but they were being harassed by trolls even then. They were getting dogs, and that's why I moved back in. So I was upstairs in my room streaming. And they were all outside doing the thing, and the neighbor's brother apparently was walking around outside, and he saw me on the front lawn. But I was also in my room because I was live at the time. I didn't know until after the stream, and by the way, it was the next day when I found out. But apparently I was also on the front lawn. Like a doppelganger.
Exactly.
But my hair was blonde, like platinum blonde. I was wearing this exact shirt. For whatever reason. Red flannel.
Yeah.
And I was staring up at the moon. Like my eyes were locked on it, apparently. That's how he described it. And then all of a sudden, the face started to tear, and there was all these teeth, like sharp teeth. He freaked out, but then that story was corroborated, as in other people backed it up. They said, yeah, that happened. We didn't know how to approach that. That incident has actually been one of the things that apparently scares the shit out of the trolls. I do not know if they're legitimately scared of it, but a lot of people are convinced Varys is very real. Sharp teeth, called himself the Viper, makes sense. He also apparently is a Slavic pagan god. Veles is Varys. He was a shapeshifter, apparently the Slavic pagan Loki, which I don't know. I found this all out after the fact. My friends were digging, trying to figure out what he is, but then I thought about it. And it really started to hit me in the brain. If Varys is real, how many more of these stories that keep coming true are also real? You're talking about a ghostly pirate? That haunted doll isn't a doll. It's a synth from the Commonwealth. You know, Fallout 4? But that'd be fucking insanity, right? Like, that would be nuts. Because video games aren't real, right? Apparently there's an reincarnation deep inside somewhere of a man named Xander Haas. NCR. The last thing you never see. If these stories are all true, well, if Varys' stories are true, that means they all are too. And that would be madness.
Well, like they say, all video games have some sort of truth to them and are created from something very real.
Well, then I thought about it. How could that be true? Why are the trolls so terrified of certain aspects of my life? Like, what bothers them about me so much? The multiverse. The Bible doesn't say there's no multiverse, and most people can't really say it doesn't exist, and most people can't experience it, right? Well, if the games were real, that's how they're real. Because if Varys is real, and Varys says these stories are true too, then that means they're all real. And that explains the 72 people inside my head.
Yeah.
I think the interesting thing about there is that why one email and the other do that? Is that a Varys thing? What's up with this field around me where nothing bad can happen near me? I have invited trolls to come kick my ass. One did. He met Varys, and he never came back. 2 people went completely insane, like that addiction I mentioned. Then there was well, then I mean, I say things that eventually come true. I was telling Spookies tonight, I know Cyraxx is gonna talk. I know it, and I mean, I can prove that. And here we are. I also said on several occasions, I'm gonna start finding out what you guys look like, where you are, and everyone's gonna know. Then, eventually, WTRD Radio, Mark's the Noob, It's Cinemas, that started happening. I mentioned that Bethesda would get bought by Obsidian. That one didn't quite come true, but then it kind of did because Obsidian and
that thing was really weird.
It really was, wasn't it? I'm like, I was telling myself, I think Obsidian.
I love Obsidian and I love Bethesda. Like, they're both great fucking company.
I remember saying that.
The new Starfield game, fucking amazing.
I love it. It took me a long time to fall in love with it though, because
dude, you know that note that they had for that kid that passed away that wanted to play it and never got to, that passed away before he played. I actually found that. I actually found the fucking note
in the game.
Yeah.
Shit, man. That game is so expensive. The reason why it take me a while to fall in love with it is because of all the drama in my life. But I finally got a period of time where it wasn't online at all for like 2 weeks. And that's all I played. Because I wanted to just be able to experience this new game without any interruptions. And I fell in love with being an asshole in space. Like, space pirate, but I'm not a space pirate. Everyone in front of me is going to get robbed, shot, or killed. And then I did every evil thing I could do. I'm like, this game, not only can you kill pretty much everybody, you can also make some really vile decisions. Like, there's a planet called Paradiso with this giant ship overhead. They say you can either enslave them into the resort, or you can buy a gravity drive and help them get where they're trying to live. But I chose the mystery third option. I blew them out of orbit.
I did the most vile thing you could fucking do. You know that one dude, the adoring fan that you can get right off rip.
Yeah.
That joined the crew. Dude, first chance I got when he was useless, I fucking killed his ass off. I'm like, fuck you, you're annoying as fuck.
I really hope at some point they make it where you can put people in like an airlock and just suck them into space.
Honestly, dude, what they need to do, and a lot of people are saying the same thing, they need to make it online multiplayer.
Oh yeah, I would say that for sure. Like, at least do like 8-player co-op. You know, have your team or something at least.
They need to do 2 games in online multiplayer: Starfield and fucking Cyberpunk.
Oh yeah, I think the way they could do the Starfield thing is you could have it like the base game, like do it like GT and Red Dead do it. Have the base game, and then have the exact same game with a multiplayer component. Because like 76, it did not work. This game, they could do it, and I feel like it could work for what it is. Because space, it's a beautiful game, but at times it does feel empty. I feel like players being around there would bump that shit up a bit. You know what I mean?
Dude, imagine taking it to the level of, like, EVE Online, dude. Like, EVE Online is fucking massive.
I've heard a lot about EVE Online. I've never actually played it myself, but I hear so many good things. Dude,
I played it one time. I fell in love with it. I was like, holy fucking shit, this is good.
Is that that's PC only, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I haven't played it, because that
Dude, there's one chick, I found this out like not that long ago. There's one chick that when it first dropped, she played it so much, she ended up visiting every single fucking solar system in the fucking game. And bear in mind, there's over 1,000. She actually managed to visit every single one of them and do so much that in one of these solar systems, they actually made a statue in her fucking honor in game.
Damn!
I'm like, bro, that is fucking dedication.
Yeah.
To show all of that And like, bro, I couldn't do it, man. Like, I've got some games that I'm like hella fucking dedicated with. And I've done shit where I'm just like, God fucking damn, I put in some work on this shit.
I feel
like,
when you see somebody that dedicated to a game, you know they're a gamer. You know they're a gamer.
100%.
It's mad respect there.
Oh, 100%, dude. Like, believe it or not, like for prime example, when Fortnite first came out, I was not a fan. I ragged on it, I bashed on it. Then when I started playing it, I got fucking hooked. Just like that, dude. Like, I was so fucking hooked. Or like when, because I got hooked on the Forza franchise when Forza Horizon 4 came out. That was the first one that I played. And a lot of people were all like, oh, like, you're into cars, you're this, you're that. Like, obviously, you're a car guy. You've been to auto body shops in high school. Obviously, you know your cars. They're like, dude, I promise you, just try this fucking game. You will love it. So finally, I broke down. My mom ended up buying me an Xbox One. I ended up breaking down and actually downloading it. Dude, within the first 5 fucking minutes, I was fucking hooked. Like, dude, I can honestly say I spent probably more time in the fucking paint shop in the photo mode than playing the fucking game itself.
Dude.
Like, that was me. Like, and then when they brought out, like, the map builders for number 5, dude, my ass spent hours and hours doing fucking rally stages, doing different shit. Like, dude, let's put it this way, dude. On number 4, I put in so much dedication that I own every single fucking car except for like 2 or 3 DLC cars in game. Dude, I have so much money on there. Right now, I'm standing on like 30 fucking million still.
Damn. I'm the same way with Fallout 4. I missed Fallout 3 in New Vegas because I just wasn't there for when they launched and everything else. I missed almost every good thing in those games. So when Fallout 4 came around, after playing those games, I knew I had to be there for everything, right? I played the main story, I played the DLC, then mod support came out. There was no turning back at that point. I played everything you could do. 1,800 hours. Like, I lived in that fucking game. Every mod that came out on console, because I was a big Xbox guy at the time. Still am in a lot of ways. Just the Series S is shit. The Series X is great. Series S works like shit. But back then, Xbox One.
And Series S is what I have. Thankfully, the one I have works surprisingly well. But, like, it depends on, like, it depends on the person when you get it. Like, if you get a good one, you get a good one. Me, I got lucky. Mine's fucking solid. I'm good. But I've had a few friends that have had a few issues with them and shit. Thankfully, this one I've had for a little over 2 years, and it's held up pretty fucking good.
My Series S has a real issue with streaming. Like, you can't stream on Twitch. The app doesn't seem to register with it. It's mostly streaming issues, I've noticed. If you don't want to stream, it works fine. But it's like, why does it work like crap when it comes to streaming? And just streaming, I've noticed. So that's like my big issue with it right now. I really wish it worked because it's still a beautiful console even still. Like, if you aren't streaming, oh, it's gorgeous. Loading screens, nothing. And, like... It's nothing like playing Fallout 4 on Xbox Series. It's just nothing like it.
Oh, dude, 100%, man. Like, the Fallout series on Xbox, man, fucking beautiful, dude. Like, no joke, man. Like, a lot of the games that they've optimized for, like, the Series S and X, oh my god, they're fucking beautiful, dude.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I can't wait to, honestly, dude, I can't wait to see, because, like, I've seen the trailers for it. I can't wait to see what GTA 6 is gonna fucking look like on there, man. That shit's gonna be fucking good.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I have watched that trailer so many fucking times. And every time I get tripped out because I lived in Florida. So that dude dragging that gator on that out of that pool, that's just an everyday fucking thing.
I
almost fucking dead.
I have to downplay my excitement for GTA because I met all these assholes because of GTA 5. I met April, and in turn I met Flips, and in turn I met all the trolls. I only met them because I exposed him because she wanted him to have me unexpose her. Toxic X, am I right?
Oh my god! So you really got caught up in a shitstorm.
But at the same time, I was more notorious on GTA than I ever was on YouTube. I was a level 7, and there was a guy in an oppressor, and I just aimed up this basic 9mm pistol and capped that bitch right off the oppressor. That shit ain't shit. Level don't mean shit for experience, you know what I mean? Then there was another one. This is the one that pissed everyone off. How do you get rid of a KD warrior? 100% guaranteed. You get a pink Prius, the gayest car in the game with the gayest color, hot pink. You put a sticky bomb on the front of it, because if the car and the impact does not kill them, the bomb fucking will. And then you go as fast as you can, and you hit that motherfucker head on and blow up. And as you hit him, you make sure to scream, Allahu Akbar, motherfucker. I have never seen a KD warrior leave so fast. I also found out that homophobia is a thing with tryhards and griefers. So there's nothing like acting like they're your boyfriend and saying, why are you suddenly don't want to be with me anymore?
You know what really pisses them off? When you're actually good at driving and they can't hit you worth a damn.
I became notorious.
Bro, I have done that shit more times than I can fucking count. Dude, I have gotten so notorious that every time somebody tries to put out a fucking bounty on me, I just drive like normal. Like, bro, are you fucking kidding me? This is easy. This is like this is breakfast for me, bro.
I was a special kind of douchebag back then. I'm not ashamed of that either. That's a good thing in this case because I would actually go out and look for level 8,000s because we all know that shit ain't real. I would have put a bounty on them so everyone would target them and then I'd go and keep claiming the bounty. I got rusty since I left in 2021, but see now I'm doing it again because I'm getting ready for that new game because I'm going to do it again.
Right? Right?
I have to downplay it so no one sees it coming though because I have to show people who I used to be on my last channel. Whole point of a trilogy is come back full circle, and we're about to wreck. We're about to fuck shit up everywhere online.
I'm that dude that, like, if you catch me on GTA 5 and you try to kill me and I'm in a fucking car, I don't care if it's a slow car or whatever. I know how to drive, motherfucker. I'm not stupid. I know how y'all fucking aim. I'm not dumb. Get on catching me, bitch.
Do you still play on console?
Yeah.
You should send me your gamer tag. Do you have PlayStation and Xbox or just Xbox?
Xbox.
All right. Well, you should send me your gamer tag, or I'll send you mine, and we should play at some point.
Yeah, I'll bet.
All right. Cool. Cool.
But like, dude, it's funny, man. Like, one of my friends that I was playing with the one day, like, we were just going back and forth, being shitheads to each other, just fucking around. He kept trying to kill me and shit, and I'm sitting there driving, and he's got this fucking, it wasn't the oppressor, but it was like one of those fucking bomber jets that are like hard as fuck to avoid. Like one of those hard to avoid ones. He kept on trying to hit me and couldn't do it. And I had him on video chat because my mic wasn't working at the time for myself, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just video call and we can do it like that. He fucking looks over at me, he's like, why can't I kill you? I'm like, this is why, motherfucker. Fuck you. You ain't killing me, bitch.
Those are good days. There's nothing like it, though. Like, when you know, I had a perfect build. Shotguns and RPGs. Shotguns up close, RPGs from afar, because I know I'm not good with a sniper rifle. So if the missile doesn't hit you, the blast radius will. I want people to know that when I enter a lobby, you're all fucked. Because if I have to go at somebody, you're going to lose KD points. It's just a thing. And I am okay with dying. KD don't mean shit to me. It's your KD that matters. So if you're going to come in here and talk about your KD ratio or be one of them griefers, all hell is going to break loose. I used every dirty tactic in the book back then. For example, he has an oppressor, and he's running that way. Kill the oppressor. I don't care about the insurance money. He can't use it without paying more and more overtime. Because
Yeah.
there's like a delay after a point, you know what I mean? The game
No,
is...
you know what's funny is whenever somebody blows your car up over a certain amount of time, they have to pay out more and more and more just because they did it. I'm like, go ahead, blow it up. I can just take you, get my mechanic to repair it. Boom, done. Thank you. More money for me.
I always thought it was funny because
Especially
I never had money intentionally because of that. I want the grief recharge to have a hard time. Well, if I blow up this thing enough, I'm paying for the money, right? Not if I don't have no money. I buy all the shit I need, make sure there's nothing left, and all right. Oh, and then I found this really shady tactic. If I did not want them to take my money, did you know you have a secondary bank account where they cannot draw money from?
Really?
Yeah, it's called the Diamond Casino. You put all your money into chips, just as much as humanly possible. All you do is walk away from the desk, maybe walk out, walk back in. You could spam that too, and keep putting your chips, your cash as chips.
Do you know about the endless wheel spin glitch?
Where you if you don't get what you want, you like shut down the console, go back in, you can change it again.
Yeah, dude, I do that all the time. Like if I don't say that there's a good car for the podium and shit, and it's an actual good vehicle, and I know I'll use it, and I don't get it, I'll shut it down and I'll just keep on going until I fucking get that motherfucker. I'll sit there for 5 hours straight if need be, just going at it. I get a lot of good shit out of it, though. I get a lot of money and shit.
That's how I got my Shintaro, or my Shitaro.
Nice.
It's a beautiful Tron bike, and it was red from the get-go, so I wasn't going to change it at all. I loved it for what it was. In fact, it was fast, it was beautiful, it lit up, which was cool, but I got that, my favorite vehicle in the game, to be honest, from the podium wheel. First try, too, it was trippy. I just lucked out that day.
Dude, there was one point where I had gotten, I forget what vehicle it was, but it was like one of the older vehicles. It looked almost like a Model T almost. I forget what vehicle it was. It was like a while ago. Dude, I wasn't even trying for it at all. I was actually trying to get my money up. And instead of getting the money up, I ended up getting the fucking car. And I'm like, oh, that works.
See, that's been my thing, though. After a while, I realized I didn't want the podium vehicles anymore. I wanted the extra cash. So, yeah, sometimes I use that little... Oh, shit. No, fuck that. Shut it down. Turn it back on. All right. Oh, cool. I got double what I wanted in the first place. You know what I mean? And then
that's like with Fortnite. A lot of these people are running around, like, doing all these matches and shit just to get their levels up. Dude, I don't even... Dude, not once since finding these maps have I ever touched one single match. Like, I've touched matches just to kind of get my stuff up and whatnot, and just for whatever. But whenever a new season kicks off, I go right to these XP booster maps, and I'll sit there for like 3 or 4 days straight, and I'll just fucking XP farm for like 3 hours straight, just doing whatever, just fucking around. And by the time I'm done, I'm walking out with like double the stars and shit that I need for next season and shit. So I take all my extra shit and I put it into the shit for next season.
That reminds me that I actually have the battle pass for this month, and I haven't done it like since the other day. I hope I didn't miss the rest of it because they got Peter Griffin at the end. Yeah, right. So I gotta go do that.
I think it's still in there.
Okay, cool. That just dawned on me. See, when I first saw Fortnite, I hated it. I could not stand what it looked like or what it was.
Right, but now that they're actually doing more with it, it's like interesting.
Someone convinced me to actually play it, and I fell in love with Battle Royale. I'm like, this is not only easy. I feel like I'm taking advantage of people in this game because most people seem to suck.
Let's put it this way, dude. They now have a actual survival mode, which is like the Lego survival mode, which is very similar to like Ark Survival Evolved.
Well,
they've got that. They've got an actual like setup where you do like actual race comps now. Like you can actually do like actual ranked racing in there now, which is fucking dope. They have a fucking Guitar Hero mode basically, which is fun as fuck. Dude, I can't even tell you how many hours I've spent on that shit since it dropped the other day, dude. Like that shit's hard, but it's fucking fun. Like they got so many different fucking things. Like dude. Some dude went in there. I don't know how he did this, but it's fucking genius. the motherfucker recreated FL Studios for fucking Fortnite. So you can actually go into Fortnite and actually make actual fucking music and download it and shit.
Dude, that would be like, I feel like I should go into Fortnite and make like something because I like to RP. I like to RP solo, don't get me wrong, but like I feel like it would be a really cool thing for me to do. That or just find some way to like fuck with stuff like that I haven't really been able to experiment with before. But like the fact that I've seen shit like that. Like this guy made like an entire like superhero tycoon thing where you could actually go to the city and shit. Yeah, it's so fucking cool.
Dude, my favorite one they did, and I fucking love this one, they literally took and remade a bunch of different like actual Zelda maps on top of the same dude that did the Zelda maps actually went in, took the time, made every single multiplayer map from Call of Duty Black Ops 1 on top of the fucking zombie mode maps.
Holy shit. Like, how do you, is that creator is the creator mode on console or is that PC?
They do it on PC. I play it on console.
But can you make all that stuff on console?
No, well, you can do maps on console. Like you can create maps, but it's a lot easier to do it on PC because there's more to do. And I also found out that if you're there for like say 30 days, like let's say that you get the Epic Games launcher, you get everything that you need. And I actually read up on this yesterday because I was wondering about it. After a certain amount of time and map building, Epic Games will pay you for map building.
Really? Dude, I need to get into that. That I need to get into. Because...
Right, dude, that's like over the last couple of days, one of my buddies actually got me back into doing game deving again because they saw like some of the stuff I had done previously, and they're like, dude, like, you should really get back into this because these demos you put out for some of these other games were surprisingly good. And they were like, why don't you try these out? So they got me into classes on Skillshare for Unreal Engine and Unity. I just ended up finishing up the Unreal Engine classes. So now I'm over here applying that to fucking Unity so that I can start doing game deving again so I can actually start making money off that shit like I used to do before all these assholes came in and were like, oh, we're going to shut you down and shit.
Can't shut down an Xbox account or an Epic Games account, you know what I mean? Oh, this could be fun.
They got slick on me. On my Xbox account, like on my main account, and they actually ended up breaking in to where I now have to wait to get my phone turned back on just so I can verify my fucking shit. Because on my main Fortnite account, I had skins from seasons 3 all the way up to the fucking current one.
See, I am so bummed that I missed the Deadpool.
Dude, believe it or not, they bring Deadpool in and out of the item shop now. They put him in and out every so often.
Oh, good. Then that means I have to keep an eye out because I really want to get a Deadpool. Like that's the one thing that would seal the deal for me to be in there.
Dude, I actually ended up getting the Batman Who Laughs skin fairly recently, actually.
Yeah, that one's popular. That one's really popular.
Dude, I fucking love it because, like, it's so, like, dude, I've actually looked, what made me get it was I actually saw the skin, so I ended up looking up the lore on it, and it's actually, like, an actual version of Batman, where the Batman went insane, and part of him was Jokerized, and the other part of him was Batman, and it just kind of like this weird thing happened. Like, it's really fucking cool. Like, there's a whole backstory behind it that's actually interesting. It's like, this is actually the most interesting thing they've done in like a while.
I like when they take the new directions and they actually are something really unique and it does really well.
Yeah.
So I can't stand the constant reboots, remakes. Sometimes taking that little chance, it can lead to really cool results. Basically, is the idea.
Yeah, it can. Yeah, and it's like it's just those things where it's like, you know, like when they went back to like season 1 here recently. I skipped that season. I was not, dude. I was getting so many kills that I was actually getting bored. Like I was winning so many matches that I actually started to get fucking bored. I'm like, okay, this is fucking boring. So I ended up leaving, like for that whole season, and then they dropped a new season. Now they got all this cool shit. Now I'm like, this is fucking awesome. Like, dude, going through the fucking zip lines just to get around and walking through the water instead of swimming, like, the fuck is that?
Laziness.
Like, dude, I was taking 200 to 300 yard shots with a fucking sniper rifle and not even being touched. Like, that's how boring it got. I'm like, dude, come on. I can't keep doing this forever. Like, it's funny watching them trying to hit me from that far back and they can't even touch me, but it's like, after a while, I'm just like, is there anything else?
See, on GTA, I always sucked at sniping, but on Fortnite, I got really good at it. Because I started to really learn how to use the system. And I found that if you use the thermal DMR, it's a DMR.
Yeah, dude, that thermal DMR is a fucking beast.
And the cool thing about it is, because it's thermal, you can actually line up with their head easier. About 3 shots, they're fucking dead for sure. But if you fail, have an SMG, just in case. Make sure it's like suppressed, because for some reason that fucks them up more, I've noticed. And then just charge their bitch ass, and then they're just done. If not, well, that DMR does the trick, usually.
Oh yeah, 100%. See, when I'm running, like, say like I want to run a hardcore fucking go-in match, I usually run a sniper of some kind. I'll usually run a scar of, and this is the thing that pisses me off. People think that like, oh, the gold gun's the best. Bitch, it don't matter about the weapon. It's about how fucking good you are with that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also about how much ammo you fucking got. If you got good skill and you got ammo, dude, I can take a fucking gray level fucking pistol and make that shit fire off like it's a goddamn semi-automatic pistol. Like, it's not hard to do when you know what you're doing.
I noticed that when I have, like, I always have 4 weapons. I don't use shotguns. For some reason, I just don't do well with shotguns in Fortnite. But I have a DMR, because you gotta have that long range stuff. I have a rifle, a heavy rifle, an SMG, and not the bandages, but like the medical packs. I become untouchable. And the reason why there's 2 rifles and an SMG is if that runs out of ammo, do not fucking reload, swap to the next one. Most people don't see it coming, and then they're always dead. I'm like, you know, this is how you make people your bitch. You know what I mean? I love the game. It's a lot of fun.
Right. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, and that's like with Call of Duty, like, I actually ended up watching this one dude that I came across recently that actually, he's like now become basically an integral part of, you know, my everyday life because of like the stuff that he talks about. This dude named Too Long. I actually found him through the channel, the Mulligan Brothers. Well, I found out that Too Long is actually, you know that character in Call of Duty Warzone, Ronan?
Yeah.
That's him.
Holy
That's
shit.
Him.
Ronan's one of my favorite ones, too.
The rifle that he has in-game, that's actually his real-life rifle that they modeled. That is actually his fucking weapon.
Holy shit.
And I looked at the setup, dude. Like, I watched, how he did the setup. I literally have my fucking rifle set up to a very similar setup. Now it's like, bro, I'm blowing through motherfuckers like it's nothing. It's like, why didn't I do this sooner? Like, why?
This is a mentality I have. I feel like I let my bias for Fortnite make me not play it sooner, and the same thing with Warzone. I feel like I should have done these games, because I've been playing them both a lot lately. And I'm like, I feel like I missed so much time and so many cool unlocks and all that other stuff just because I didn't want to give it a chance because what everybody else was saying or what it looked like. Because now I play Call of Duty Warzone even, and I have so much fucking fun. It's not the same game it used to be by any means because it's so much better in a lot of ways. But even still, it's so much fun.
Like, dude, seeing what they came from and when they're like where they're at now on both ends, it's like it's insane. Like, it started out as just this little rinky-dink game, and now it's like, holy shit. Like, it's actually insane, like, where they're currently at, dude. Like, it's so nuts. Like, it is so insane to me. It's like, how do you not, like, how could you not fall in love with that shit? Seeing, like, where they're at, where they started, you know? Like, it's actually crazy. Like, dude, I remember when Fortnite first fucking came out. It was insane. Like, seeing where they're at now is like, it's fucking nuts. Like I remember when Fortnite was just this shitty little tower defense thingy, and now it's got, dude, it's got so many fucking modes that I can't even fucking keep up anymore. Like, it's got so much going
Today's
for
interview.
it. Oh, wow.
What makes Slotomania the #1 free slots game? It's the perfect.
Today's interview is with founder and CEO of
This is the
Today's interview.
This is the video that made me like realize who this dude was. Like, it's super long, so I'm not gonna play like a whole lot of it, but like, I think you'll get the gist of it.
Today's interview is with founder and CEO of Ronin Tactics, Tulam. I served in a special missions unit where I did special reconnaissance. You know, I started off in Asia and then I fought the wars in the Middle East. My whole life was war. My whole life was combat. I was born in this country. And we have joined today in his war room where all his military accolades are and the inspiration of how he became who he is today. And we go through all of that, the beautiful story of how his mother took him and his family across oceans to eventually reach the United States of America to protect them for safety. My mother's still on my body from incoming artillery fire in my morning of my birth. At this stage of the war, American troops have left it on. My mother, her strength, one more day, when people were dying, she held on to one more day. Today's video is always sponsored by mullenbrothers.com, where you can get the t-shirts, the journals are coming soon, and also the poster linked in the description, where you can get 10% off using code STOIC at checkout. Let's dive into this amazing interview. So, just for people who don't know, just introduce yourself or what you do.
My name is Tulam. I am the CEO and founder of Ronin Tactics, where my wife and I, we travel around the United States. We teach law-abiding citizens, we teach military and law enforcement. We've been doing this for 7 years. We also offer my time in the military design, and we manufacture equipment for law enforcement, military, and law-abiding citizens. So, founder of Ronin Tactics. So Ronin Tactics is broken down into merchandise and is broken down to training, and we also do the entertainment where we film motion capture for Call of Duty character Ronin, and also Wearface and for Springfield where we field test their new products.
So I think what we'll do is dive into where you grew up. But I think instead of me asking you like a standard question, I think as much detail as you want to go into. From the moment you were born, from what you've been told through family, and to see where it takes us, and then I'll track back if we need to.
There's nothing more important in life as a warrior to be stronger than the conditions and circumstances that are presented to us. You know, Nietzsche, the philosopher, once said that chaos is needed in oneself to give way to a dancing star. Without chaos, there will be no armies to fight, no mountains to climb or dragons to slay. Without chaos, there will be no realization to one's actual truth. You see, I was born in chaos. I was born on a cold cement floor in the basement of Saigon Hospital. My mother showed on my body from incoming artillery fire in the morning of my birth. At this stage of the war, American troops had left it on. And I was born on the losing side of a war between communism and democracy. Democracy lost. The communists, they imposed their ideologies on us. At 3 months old, I lost my freedoms, I lost my country. We lived underneath communist occupation. My uncles that served alongside Americans were immediately brought out to re-education camps. These were torture camps. Any person that fell ill, hurt, injured from these hard labor camps were brought out into the jungles and quietly murdered. You know, my uncles that served alongside them were imprisoned. And by the time we received them in the States, had no skin on the bottom of their foot, defeated, broken. See, the communists seek to impose their ideals on us, and they broke us as human beings. We escaped genocide when I was 3 years old on an overstuffed wooden fishing boat. But hundreds of thousands of other fleeing refugees at that time, refugees were escaping when Americans left through government planes, any planes that they can get their hands on, helicopters. Some walked out to neighboring countries. We were the boat people. There was an estimated 400,000 refugees died at sea. But yet on this night, my mother loaded us in the basement of this wooden boat. What was supposed to be a 2-day trip from Vietnam to Malaysia, a route that's often taken. You know, they, in order to fit more refugees on, they took water and food supplies off the boats to put more bodies so more refugees can escape. It was such a lucrative business to stop the fleeing refugees, to board the boats and to kill the men, to rape the women and enslave the children. It was such a lucrative business that they brought in neighboring countries, pirates. It was estimated that many refugees died at sea because of these bandits. Somehow, under the cover of darkness, we escaped the pirates and we made our way into Malaysia, where the Malaysian Coast Guard stopped us at gunpoint, shot at us, boarded our boats, roped the line, and pulled us back out into the South China Sea, further and further into the sea, into hopelessness. When there was no more hope, then they cut the rope. Then they shot our engine, and they left us there to die. What turned out to be a 2-day trip, we drifted. My mother said that we roughly were out at sea for 30 days. The lack of food and water, people died, suffered. It's common practice amongst fleeing refugees to carry poison in their belongings. The poison was to minister to their child so they would not endure a life of slavery, torture. You know, I think back to my mother as we were dying on this boat, drifting, dying. Bodies were being thrown overboard. 3 years old, can you believe it? As we were drifting, I think back, one more day. You know, what my mother had to endure. One more day. As we were dying in front of her, the ulcers growing on our legs. My mother, her strength, one more day. When people were dying, she held on to one more day. Well, she didn't poison us, and we got caught up in a storm. Huge tropical storm. She said this storm was so fierce that we should have been capsized on this small little wooden fishing boat. Further and further was drifts. She said the waves were so massive. And she was prepared for death that night. But somehow this storm washed us further out to the South China Sea. And the next day, when the storm broke, we were drifting. And somehow this storm led us into a path the lat-long coordinates of a Russian supply boat, South China Sea. Can you imagine how big that ocean is? Somehow this storm led us into this path of this Russian supply boat. Now, you know, the Russians, their ideology to communism was what took us out of our country. We lost our freedoms, our country, we're escaping genocide. But yet this Russian boat didn't look at us as the enemy. They chose humanity. And they saved us.
Damn. That hits different.
Oh no.
GMC Sierra. It's the truck, or just in time for the holiday.
We were barely alive. One by one, they took us onto their boats, gave us the medical treatment. And after a day, they put us back on our wind fishing boat. The smell, the foul smell of urine, feces, hopelessness. We went back into these basements. Our captain, my mother said this, said thank you to the captain of the Russian supply boat. And he said that, don't thank me. Because if I would have spotted you going into Vietnam, I would have drugged you back into Vietnam. But since you're here, I'm bounded to save you. I think that lesson, you know, when I hear that lesson, because I was too young to really remember it, you know. But that lesson, as I reflect through the years, is this. No matter what culture, what country, there's always a good and there's always a bad. Right? And that we shouldn't look at one another, culture, color, background, saying you're the enemy. We should look at each other as humanity. That's what they did, and I was taught that at a very young age. Less than humanity. They roped us back in and they pulled us into Indonesia. You know, my mother said there's, you know, Indonesia's a multiple chain of islands, you know. She pulled us into Indonesia and they docked us, and she said, you know, in the end processing process, she said that people died of dehydration on the beach. Can you imagine? Surviving that and dying on the beach, but all they had to do is show compassion to us. You know, my mother said that the Indonesian guards showed no compassion as we sat there on the beach, 100+ degrees. Can you imagine? After 30 days at sea, depleted, dying. Yeah, here we are at safety, but yet a human being cannot even show humanity, can't even save a person that almost died. And all they have to do is give them water. And yet we wait on this beach. And then finally we in process the refugee camps. Let me explain to you the refugee camps. Hundreds and thousands of people are in these refugee camps. Stripped from dignity, country, stripped from everything. With the good, there's the bad. Amongst us, there's people that seek to take, murder, kill in the refugee camps. A safe haven for refugees. They're drug out into the jungles, raped, killed by bandits in the jungle, dead bodies. You know, my brother, because these refugee
Hey, you
camps,
still there?
let me explain these refugee camps are rough.
I'm gonna go do some stuff for a couple minutes because I have a couple people text me about something. It's nothing bad or anything. But we can talk again tomorrow if you want.
Yeah, bet, dude. Like, what I'll do as soon as we hop off here, I'll see what I can dig up for you on getting info for you. Whatever I got, man, I'll send it over.
I appreciate that so much, and let's take them all out, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Hey, man, I definitely do appreciate you coming in and helping out, dude. I definitely do appreciate it, dude.
No problem, man. I do believe that after everything we've discussed and etc., I do not think that anything they've said ever is true, because I'm seeing nothing as far as signs. I think you're a decent person. You're definitely
Right.
not. You're definitely not a predator.
And
If
you
it,
could definitely, and just by how we've talked and just hung out, dude, like, clearly you could tell that I'm just a regular ass fucking dude. Like,
dude, we spent the last. Hold on, let me look at the recording thing here because
I was about to say, how fucking long, dude? Like, however,
four and a
like,
half hours of just vibing. Four and a
yeah, and
half
just,
hours. I mean,
right.
yeah.
And like in that, and dude, in that 4.5 hours, dude, like I can honestly say, dude, that I do hope that you're able to find, hopefully you can find a new place to stay, man, because staying in that place like that, man, that's not good, dude. Like what they did to you is fucked.
Well, I think the first thing I gotta do is go find the Akron, Ohio thing and confirm. That way, because remember, they're calling you a predator even now. And they're saying, WTRD Radio was texting me on my YouTube studio saying, it makes sense you're hanging out with pedos, but then I'm looking at this like, says the guy who's hanging out with a guy who threatens children with rape. You know what I mean?
Right. Not only that, dude, like I said, if you look on my public, if you look on my public record, there's nothing there.
Exactly.
At all.
All you have to do is go to a sex offender registry on Akron, Ohio, because every state, every city has one, and you type in your name, Chance Wilkins, right? Search results empty in every capacity. Well, then there you go.
Right, and not only that, but what's funny to me is these motherfuckers love to. One thing I have noticed, they love to Photoshop forms and shit. They love to make it look like shit.
But you can't fake in the paperwork though, can you?
Exactly, dude. Like, dude, you go on the fucking registry, I'm not there.
Exactly.
Like, I have
Which is why I'm
nothing.
gonna I'm gonna enjoy watching that one burn. That's the first one I'm gonna do for you. Anything you can send me, I'm gonna use it, and we're gonna shut these fuckers down once and for all. If you want to text me anything, if you want to talk tomorrow, wherever, let me know. I'm here all the time. It was nice meeting you, man.
Yeah, definitely, dude. And I can honestly say, man, anytime you want to call, man, I'm here 24/7, dude. So like, you can reach out to me any fucking time. Anything you need, man, just let me know.
I appreciate it. All right, man.
You
have an awesome night, okay?
Yeah, you too, man. Take it easy, bro.
You too.
All right, later, man.
Peace. All right. So this thing's still recording. After 4.5 hours of talking and vibing with Mr. Chance Wilkins, I can verify that he is a completely normal, stable, decent human being. His opinions are almost mirroring my own, and it is trippy how much we have in common. I'm going to post this entire video, unfiltered, unedited, as is, as a showcase of what my first interaction with Cyraxx was like. Now, I still am going to dig into all this information. I want to know exactly what the paperwork says. I want to know about testimonies. I want to look at all these things. The goal here is simple, to know the truth. But if my gut is right, and it almost always is, in fact, I can't name a time where my gut has been wrong. So if my gut is right, as it always has been, Cyraxx is a victim, not a villain. Which means if we do this, yes, I'm about to piss off every single troll on the God-given internet. But at the same time, we're about to tear their world down. To all the trolls, that shadow just passed right by my head. To all the trolls, you're not ready for what's coming. But see, I live by a philosophy that it is my duty and my obligation to look out for the little guy. It's just a thing. I don't like bullies. It does not matter where you're from. To all the trolls, your world is about to end. May God have mercy on your soul, because I will not. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.